So great way to be familiar with each of the states and a little bit about some of their highlights. Soon there will be a course available for like a U.S. geography and social studies based off from this book and a passport to the U.S.A. book that's expected to come in pretty quick too. I just got on my desk the new Children's Atlas of the United States of America. This book is awesome. If you're familiar with the Children's Atlas of America, of the world, which I don't think I have a copy of here. This is the United States version. Soon there will be a course available for like a U.S. geography and social studies based off from this book and a passport to the U.S.A. book that's expected to come in pretty quick too. But I thought, you know what, I will do just a quick preview of the book, and then I'll find a couple of states from people who may be tuned in, and we'll just look at those states so you can have an idea of what the book is about. This is much bigger. Let's see, standard 8.5 by 11 book comparatively. It's a bigger book. It's hardcover. I think the cost is $19.99 on the masterbooks.com website. It just came into stock, so there is an inventory. We just got a container in of it. So it's pretty awesome. So what I'll do is switch over. Now, this book is so big it doesn't fit my camera space, so I'll have to move it around a little bit. Let's see. We have the introduction. The table of contents is a little different. You look for the state. New York would be page 68. Illinois would be page 30. There are a key to it so that Christian Foundation shows the godly beginnings of its constitutions. The blue pins, when you see a blue pin, that designates a geographic location. Wonders in God's world. The lettered red flags denote special sites that have been preserved as a national or state parks and monuments within each state. So let's see. Here's just a sample. We come to Alabama. Oh, the table's all bouncy. We come to Alabama, and we have fun facts about Alabama. A couple of things. Let's see. We should all know the name of Dr. Luther Leonidas Hill. He performed the first open heart surgery in the Western Hemisphere in 1902. He was able to suture a stab wound that was pierced a young boy's heart. So the first open heart surgery came from a doctor in Alabama. Special area Spanish explorers sailed around Mobile Bay. As early as 1500, they marked it on their maps as Bahia del Espiritu Santo, the Bay of the Holy Spirit. The first European to sail into the bay was Admiral Alvarez de Pineda of Spain in 1549. And so we have there's a civil rights movements, the Freedom Riders, National Monument, Russell Cave, National Monument, Selma to Montgomery, National Historic Trail, the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site, the Birmingham Civil Rights Movement. In 1963, Birmingham, Alabama was filled with scenes of violent aggression towards nonviolent protesters seeking civil rights for all. Now the Gaston Motel, where Dr. King and others stayed, has been set aside as a national monument. And so then we have the state map. Each of those designations, this would be the bay that was there. Each of these spots would designate one of the national monuments that you have. We have, let's see, 9/11. Most people have learned the 3-digit number used to call for help in an emergency. Alabama was the first state to use 9/11 for emergencies back in 1968. Let's see, so we have the flag and we have the seal of Alabama. Population, let's see, it became a state in 1819. It was the 22nd state. The state flower is the camellia. The capital is Montgomery. The nickname, the Yellowhammer State, the heart of Dixie. The highest point is Cheetah Mountain, 2,400 feet tall. So let's see. We have Iowa. So we're going to look up Iowa. I'm going to pick just a couple of states from people who posted. Iowa, page 34. So we'll go to page 34. Here we go. What can we find out about Iowa? We, the people, state of Iowa, grateful to the Supreme Being for the blessings hitherto enjoyed, the feeling of our dependence on Him for a continuation of those blessings, do ordain and establish a free and independent government by the name of the state of Iowa, and the boundaries whereof shall be as follows. Yes, we definitely need to be thinking of our Supreme Being at this time in our country. Let's see. Statehood became a state in 1846. It was the 31st state. The capital, Des Moines. The state flower, the wild rose. The state bird, the eastern goldfinch. It is called the Hawkeye State, and the highest point is Hawkeye Point, 1,600 feet. Outer Rhetoric, who happened to be from Davenport, Iowa. Let's see. Invented the first single loaf bread slicing machine in 1912. Though it was destroyed in a fire, he had a fully working machine ready to go by 1928. Now we say that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's pretty cool. Let's see. There's the Iowa flag, the seal of Iowa. It's interesting. Let's see. Iowa is in the Midwest, became the 29th state in 1846. The Song of Iowa is their state song, and the state rock would be the geode. Cool. Here's a painting. This is a famous painting. I've taken that painting, taken friends' faces, and photoshopped them in. So I've hacked that painting pretty good. The famous painting is called The American Gothic. It was painted in 1930. The artist Grant Wood was inspired while traveling in Eldon, Iowa. The painting shows a farmer standing beside his daughter, though a lot of people assumed it was his wife. Who knew? I thought it was his wife. How offended my friend should be. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Here are some the effigy mounds of National Monument. 200 ancient mounds that were built by Native people are preserved there. The mounds are unique in their animal shapes and were featured in the America the Beautiful Quarters program. The Herbert Hoover National Historic Site, the Lewis and Clark National Historic Park, Stevens State Forest, and the Loess Hills Forest. So there's a good Iowa. Who else we got? We got a Virginia, so we'll look at a Virginia. I'm sure they're alphabetical order, but I'm going to do it this way. Virginia, page 96. All right. Virginia, the preamble, the beginning of the state foundation. The religion or the duty which we owe to our Creator and the manner of discharging it be directed only by reason and conviction, not by force or violence, and therefore all men are equally entitled to the free exercise of religion according to the dictates of conscience, and that it is mutual duty of all to practice Christian forbearance, love, and chastity towards each other. No man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship, place, ministry whatsoever, nor shall be enforced, restrained, molested, or be burthened in his body or goods, nor shall otherwise suffer on account of his religious opinions or belief. But all men shall be free to profess and by argument to maintain their opinion in matters of religion, and the same shall in fact nowise diminish, enlarge, or affect their civil capacities. It's cool to have each state to have the preamble, the foundation that they have, and to see the godliness that the states were founded. Let's see. It was the 12th state. The capital is Richmond. The state flower is the flowering dogwood. Its nickname is the Old Dominion State. The highest mountain is 5,729 feet, quite a bit higher than Iowa or Alabama. We have the state flag and the seal. Here are a couple of geographic locations. Jefferson designed his home in 1772, called it Monticello, which is Italian for Little Mount. You can still visit it near Charlottesville, Virginia. Monticello is depicted on the back of the 1953 $2 bill. Let's see. And then we have the Appomattox Courthouse, where the surrender of Robert E. Lee to Ulysses S. Grant took place. And it shows on the map each of these. So A would be right here in the center, the Booker T. Washington National Monument. B, right here, Great Falls Park. C, Shenandoah National Park. D, the historic Jamestown Colonial National Historic Park. E. So kind of a fun book, even if it's not a course that you take right away. Just being able to have the book for the purpose of looking up states, or if you were traveling, this would be a fun book to take with you as you travel. So it's got on the back, learn details about the beginnings, explore, the Christian heritage and geographic highlights, wonders in God's world, and then designation of the map. So great way to be familiar with each of the states and a little bit about some of their highlights. So this is in stock, and encourage you to check it out. There should be a preview also on the website, masterbooks.com. And $19.99 is the sale price of this book. So a fun one to keep in mind for students elementary age, but actually for a family, this would just be great for the family library.